and good morning. Welcome to Divine Goddess Tarot. This is Jessica. I am a reader and a connection to your feminine source, to your divine goddess, and as well as your God, because we want that focus and direction, right? So let's get to your morning message. If you are returned, welcome back. And if you are new, welcome to my channel. I basically channel in that feminine energy that our world is in such desperation for. Even though we have power all around us, a lot of times it's just that feminine energy of all the facets of our aspect that makes us us. And I know that when we identify with feminine energy, it can feel like we are many goddesses all in one. I know from one cycle to the next, I feel like a different woman. And as soon as I get comfortable in that, the wonderful moon and the cycles of femininity, we change. And that is the reminder to us that we are ever flowing, we are ever changing, we are cyclical. And so when we look to nature and the cosmos, we truly tap into our innate being. And so each one of us has a divine feminine aspect, our goddess aspect. Even those amazing masculine men, their power, the thing that moves them is their feminine energy. So whether you are feminine or identify as masculine, this is an energy that is for everyone. So let's see what goddesses are going to be in that message this morning and see what guidance and whose energy we are going to tap into for messages, and we'll clarify that through tarot. All right, we've got Iris, and I love Freya. She is an amazing for radical acceptance, even in the face of defeat. So I love her. So if any of you are going through a hard time right now, Freya is going to be there to assist you in accepting what is. And I'm going to read these two to you. Let me show them because they're beautiful, amazing goddesses within you. And they are tapping into the energies. You are the conduit of the goddess energy and what messages that these have for you today. So Iris is communication, and I love her because, of course, I love Saraswati. She's another goddess that is in alignment with communication, because it is the art. We are given in this realm the ability to communicate and bring things into words and into different ways of communicating. So as we know, text is probably the worst way of communication, because we're missing the element of body language and energy. And yes, you can tap into energies, but a lot of it has to do in text with how we are interpreting it. So I do encourage you right off the bat, if there's something important that gets to be said, communicate that with your in person, with your voice. Let's go ahead and see whose energy we are a bigger picture of the story of energies that may reside or resonate rather with you. That one was popping out and that one's speaking to me. The Fool. So know that not all messages will be for you today. There might be just a nugget or two that will again shine light or give you clarity for your journey. King of Wands, great energy there for that grounding, that masculine energy. All right, that one, and I'm gonna go from bottom. Okay, some of us are feeling a little bit trapped, a little bit mental stuff going on here with our own inner demons of programming or self-doubt. Lost that one. That one. All right, so the Chariot in reverse. So that's kind of a now situation where we're feeling just a little bit backwards in that energy of movement or our goals. Oh, good. He's fat and happy. I love the 9 of Cups. This is good. I love his energy. His energy is just contentment. So that's really, really good. And that could be a part of that goddess energy of radical acceptance. We're going to go with judgment on the bottom. All right, so we've got a little bit of third-party action here. This could also mean many things. It doesn't necessarily always have to be love. So we're going to clarify that. And I'm going to ask for a clarifier for the Three of Swords and see where that's going. Bottom, top, and top. So yes, we've got the Queen of Pentacles. We've got 8 of Cups and then the 6 of Cups. So some of this has to do with a little bit of some childhood stuff as well. So this could be a family matter that could leave us feeling like we are being a little bit backstabbed, having some influence here, especially with here the Five of Wands. This is conflict. This is somebody going through something, and what I'm seeing is that this is a familial or a family matter. This could be in-laws, this could be your personal family, just a little bit of some disharmony with life in this moment. However, we've got the Judgment card here, so there's a lot of the rebirth. Getting past these obstacles is very important, and with Iris and communication, it may be just a lack thereof of communicating how you feel, boundaries. I feel that a lot of you perhaps could be setting off a new adventure in life or a choice, and maybe your family doesn't agree with it, and so to communicate that has been very stifled, and it's just not going anywhere. When you do, it creates that conflict that just isn't working, and so we feel stuck. And what I'm hearing here is very King of Wands energy, that ground into yourself and your knowing of what your truth is, and then communicate it. When we go into that communication, also letting go of the attachment that they're going to agree. Not everyone's going to agree with our journey, and that is okay. They're not supposed to, because it's our very own journey. We are experiential creatures, and we have our own path and our own beautiful lessons and karma and dharma that we are dealing with that are unique to our own experience. And so there may be a time when communication, even though it is there, it may fall short of hitting its mark, of being in agreement with, if that's a word, that's probably a Jessicaism. I have a tendency of that. But to have people agree with us is not the goal. It's to love one another even if we disagree. It's to accept one another and our differences. And that Queen of Pentacles energy is truly that acceptance within ourselves, our love for our own choices, our own journey, as well as others, and let them have theirs. We live in a world that if you don't agree with me, you're against me, and that's just really not, it's such low vibration. It's just, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous because that's what makes us each individual unique. I can see some of you have moved on from this energy. You've just walked away from it. This 8 of Cups is very much that energy of just, I'm done, like just walking away from it. And sometimes that's necessary to take space, to take time, rebuild, go within. So you may feel with this Chariot in reverse that's the energy with it. You're not getting anywhere with it. So you might have to just let it lay. Just let it be. Do you. And perhaps that this conflict, this constant fighting, it just needs to be put on the back burner, and then maybe time, they say, of course, heals all things, or it's just one of those things, or it makes things a little bit worse. Depending on your situation, it all comes back to you. What are you happy with your life? And we live in such a world where, we're programmed from the time we're little, in a lot of homes, is that you make mother happy, you make father happy, then you're good. And that is just not the case. We have to learn how to make ourselves happy. And then when we do, I feel that when someone really is in alignment with love, they see your happiness and they join you in that. So, and if not, it's going back to having that radical acceptance. These two goddesses are really speaking to you today, and I'll read those, of being with you, being with what resonates with you in your heart, in your life's journey, even if it doesn't in this moment, or the thing you're working on, it beautifully fails. Failure is an absolute necessary component to success. It teaches us. It is our teacher. And so even though we may be having all the confidence in the world and setting off on a new adventure, and it's causing a lot of turmoil and maybe the people that we love around us, sometimes we've got to do it. And so just know that no matter what happens, to stay in that moment, keep being the love that you are. Remember, we want to be accepted for the differences in our lives, for the choices we make and the different opinions, preferences. And so sometimes, even though going back home, we want that. We want that feeling of belonging. And sometimes it is being a little bit isolated because we've got to go on our own journey. We've got to leave the things that aren't working behind us. So tap into that self-love, as well as compassion. But I believe truly the biggest disservice that we can give ourselves is self-betrayal. We've got to be honorable to us and ourselves first. And then when we do that, we can truly give from a full cup. So I love this energy. It can be hard. It can be a lot of that fight, a lot of that feeling of other influences in our life that just aren't working. But again, go to your natural knowing, your grounding of your ideas and your spark, and create that momentum with your life by taking action, tapping into your Shakti, your goddess energy of forward momentum, even if it may not work. Having that chance that it couldn't, but guess what? It also perhaps could. So let's read those two today to see a clear view of what all they're saying and what it encompasses. 15. So let's go over to here. I know that's been a big part of my journey, is stepping into my own. No matter what my family feels or thinks or their belief system, it's about choosing myself. And we live in a lot of cultures that are still so archaic in the belief systems, and so when you are one of those black sheep that go, I'm going this way, that's a gift. Your uniqueness to not follow what everyone else is doing is such a beautiful gift. So please know that. Please give yourself that love. All right. Freya, radical acceptance. The empowerment message is, when you see life as a battleground, you lose sight of more easeful ways to be in the world. Can you stand in the middle of the chaos and allow yourself to center into the quiet hum of the eye of the storm? Let the peace of Freya, the Norse goddess of war, enter your mind. Amid the flurry of battle, she came to collect the fallen and bring them to a place of rest and recuperation. Freya is here to remind you that the acceptance of defeat is not the end. She offers the gift of acceptance, the knowing that there is nothing to resist right now. See your world at face value and look into it with discernment. When you see with greater clarity, not taking this world so personally, you will not have to fight at all. If you take full stock of your conditions, surrendering to what is, you can move to higher ground. Begin again, or wait until the drama dies down on its own. Remember, leaving it alone, coming back later. You are the strongest, most grounded, and most powerful when you remember this. In this strategy, the goddess Freya offers in your support. So your alignment message: failure and disappointment are parts of life that few want to accept. Perhaps a job you want doesn't come through, a lover you thought was the one betrays your hopes and expectations, or maybe your kids are acting out. Maybe a long-term creative project didn't yield the success you dearly hoped for, or perhaps you were hurt by someone for no apparent reason. Goddess of War and Radical Acceptance Freya says, have no fear, this is only temporary. Now is not the time to linger in perceptions of low self-worth. Your alignment task is to accept the truth wholeheartedly and see your situation exactly for what it is. She will bring you to a place of surrender where you have time to heal. Freya knows that you will emerge stronger and wiser. Only good will come out of this. Trust the goddess Freya is watching over you. So again, this iterated a lot what I had just spoken about and what the cards have said today, as well as you can probably hear the wind blowing, and that is a universal sign that when you are speaking or when there's truth being told, that the wind will blow. So always remember there's the truth in the wind. So a little added information there. Okay, 22, let's do Iris for communication. Speak your truth. All right, clarity in communication is called for, as your words will have great impact on others right now. It's a wonderful time to start writing the book, telling new stories, and sharing your experience, strength, and hope with others. You have everyone's ear, so choose your message wisely. Others will also desire positive and fruitful communication with you. So get ready for something amazing, new opportunities to come from these discussions. Just remember to stay open and be clear about expressing your deepest desires, always speaking with integrity, kindness, and respect for yourself and others. The Greek messenger goddess Iris is thrilled to help your worlds take flight. Communication improves in all your relationships when she comes to visit. Most important, however, Iris reminds you of the communication you have with the universe. You are in a mutual dialogue, and now is the time to pay attention to the signs and omens in your life. Trust this important yet subtle communication. It will never lead you astray when you listen and act accordingly. So the alignment message is that you are facing a moment when communication between you and others may have become disconnected. Perhaps people are withholding information from you or not being clear about their motives. Now is the time to ask for clarity, to get clear yourself. If you're sitting on the fence and are ambivalent about your direction, say it. Your alignment task is to say no to playing games, no to coercion, manipulation, and covert intentions. Take a straightforward attitude. Don't be afraid to hear what might disappoint you. Be clear and demand the same from others. The messenger goddess Iris knows the importance of clear communication, and she urges you to speak up for yourself. If you've come from an environment, family, or cultural history where you have not had a voice, this might feel like you're yelling, but that's all right. Times are changing, and now it's not the time to be shy. It's okay to feel awkward or flustered, but the goddess Iris brings her powers of clarity and says it is your turn to be heard. So gather your courage. The people who are important to you in the long run will listen and witness you. And then you can engage in positive conversation that leads to heartfelt solutions. Even if your voice feels untrue and comes from a victim mentality, you must speak what is inside you in order for you to heal or change it, or to find a way to the real truth. Let yourself be heard, and the great goddess will send strong teachers and wonderful allies for you. I love this because there is always a place with which we start. When I found my voice, it was important, and it came out so powerfully. Yelling, it was so intense because it had been trapped for so long. It had to happen. And did I always do it in a way that was beneficial? No. Sometimes it shoved people further away from me, but it was a start, and I also saw that. That was a way for me to then, okay, I get to learn to communicate even differently and refine my skill of communication. Communication is absolutely a skill. It is something that we are taught only with the scope that we are given and that the people around us are able to do themselves. It is our job to learn to do it better. And even if the start is an absolute disaster, you're speaking your truth, keep going. Keep doing it. But look at if it is working. And if not, go back, redefine how you communicate, learn different tools. But sometimes remember, not everyone is still going to hear your message. And that's okay. But you're speaking your truth, and then you will know if it is time to walk away. Sometimes we have to stop speaking when our words are not landing, when we're not being heard, because that's not beneficial either. People, if they've tuned out, sometimes it is best to just, and you'll know when that is. Iris and Freya both are here with you to lean upon them. Think of them. When we think of these specific goddesses, we ask them to assist us in the situation or whatever situation that we're dealing with, and we get to know which goddesses we can align with and tap into their energy to assist us in being productive or speaking our truth or for our journey. They will show up. All you got to do is ask. So I love this. This is a beautiful message. I love all the messages because it is the rainbow of life. It's all the facets of a gem of facets of us. And so when we tap into it and we polish that facet, then we can put our best intention and creation forward to create the lives we truly, truly want. So again, I hope this beautiful message serves you in any way possible. And if you loved today, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow.